Hi, everyone. Welcome to FitFam. We've been absent for a week or so, but we're back at it. We've been pretty much on the road.
Yeah, life has been extremely crazy, but feeling all the blessings of a busy life.
Absolutely.
Pressure is, what is that saying?
I'm not sure, but
Yeah, but
the creator of diamonds?
no,
No.
I know, but privilege. Pressure is a
Oh, I like that.
privilege.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And today we're going to be talking about the things that we have found have benefited us the most over our life for a healthy 45 and a healthy 60.
Yeah, and I
And
I love this, and we're gonna kind of be jumping all over the place, but following the guide of fitness.
absolutely. And I think it'll be cool because we'll talk about some research and how the research backs up what we're doing and that. But as always, thank you for watching and being a part of this. Please hit the little button and then the bell also so you can get notified when we have the new episodes. And we really appreciate you following us. And today, again, even though we're going to use the fitness acronym, which we use a lot, and it kind of comes back to the more you really embrace the holistic approach to health and use an acronym like fitness, the better off you are. But we're going to do the age-related thing today.
Yeah, and as always, this is Doug the Formulator.
And this is Miss Natural Olympia Hilary coming up on her 10th Natural Olympia this week. Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
Been inducted to the Hall of Fame this week.
whoop whoop.
It's a great week. Honestly, I mean, congratulations. Like, that is crazy to 10 years in a row. That's the big difference. You've competed in the Natural Olympia, and that's just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like 10 years.
So let's jump
I'm
right into
excited.
it.
Okay,
Okay,
let's go.
so we're going to talk about, again, the things that we have seen were the most beneficial to help us be healthy and happy at 45 and 60. So we're going to start with focused, intense thought. Why don't you give us your belief on what was the most important thing about the mindset or what the mindset was that's enabled you to be healthy at 45?
Okay, perfect. I hope this makes sense. And we are strictly talking about our physical fitness, right? Being completely holistically healthy,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think what has helped me all through the years, and when I look back and think when have I struggled most and when have I done really well, it's when I have constantly, for focused intense thought, when I have constantly had a physical fitness goal that I'm shooting for. For example, right now it is Natural Olympia, right?
Mhm.
And so to know that I'm stepping on that stage for the 10th year in a row keeps my mind focused on what that looks like, what that goal is. Okay. But it has also been in the past, um, you know, an ability to perform really well in a high rocks training and what that looks like,
Mhm.
or to be able to step on stage to compete in natural bodybuilding. Also, I love to run. And so having a goal of running a 10K in a certain amount of time or a 5K in a certain amount of time and focusing on that, and what those goals and the outcomes of all of those look like has been extremely beneficial for me.
I like that. I like that a lot. And mine has been somewhat the same. It's just that ever since I was a little kid, being very competitive and realizing a blessing, I didn't realize the blessing at the time, but being smaller than most of the guys that were competing in sports, like, what is the edge? And I don't know if someone told me or if I just figured it out, but I'm like, okay, the only way I can have an edge is to be faster, stronger,
Mm,
right, and more in shape. And so for me, it's always been about a competing mindset. And that competing mindset led to a certain set of principles and other things we're going to talk about. But there's always that competition. And sometimes the competition, especially as I get older, is more with myself, like
right.
being able to do certain things and, you know, and be able to accomplish them personally and just setting those PRs. And so I think that for me, focus intense thought is about having a competitive mindset. And I truly believe that everyone should have a competitive mindset. I don't mean competitive like I beat you type thing, but not everyone can be athletes, but I believe everyone should be athletic. Be at the top of your ability to be athletic so you can be a better for men, right? Patriarch, provider, protector. And so,
I think it is perfect, and it kind of is talking about like progress, right? When
mhm,
you're talking about competition, you're more talking about progress within your own abilities, right? Also with focused intense thought, when we're talking about a specific goal that we have in mind, I think something that both you and I have always focused on is being able to be active with our children. And now that we have grandchildren, being able to be active and participate in their lives. And if we don't have our health and our, energy,
Yeah.
we can't keep up.
That's a really good point. And a lot of our clients, it's amazing to hear their focused, intense thought. What is it? Like we try to dig deep as what's your why, right? Because we
Right.
know the stronger their why, the more they'll follow what we
Right.
recommend. And one of our clients is in his 60s, says he wants to be able to dance with his grandchild at her, was it wedding or
Yep.
graduation wedding?
At our wedding.
And, he's going to be like 84 or something at that point.
Yes.
But it drives him to what can I do to keep my health up and anti-age and all that. So focus intense thought, I think, is critical throughout your life. And again, it might change, but
And
you can see that type of athletic mindset.
yeah, and I think it's important when we're talking about focused intense thought with a driven goal, what is the outcome of that goal? That's the thing you're focusing on.
Mhm.
What as if you've done it so that you can feel that more intently, right?
Right.
Okay, nutrition.
Nutrition. For me, nutrition, thankfully, it goes back to being raised in a home where mom cooked every meal. Like I've very seldom remember going out to eat. And how it was always based on whole food.
Yeah.
And even if she cooked it or fried different things and stuff, it's always whole food, whole food, whole food, and tons of veggies. And I went through that phase. I think most kids did where yuck, right? Because we did like a lot of collard greens and beets and a lot of stuff that, a lot of people don't like. But my parents always tell me that if you want to be stronger, you want to be healthy, these are the foods, and then learning to like them. And luckily, then all of a sudden, when I started going to school, wow, it's about whole foods. It really is whole, single ingredient, meaning foods, that you get from the earth. And I think that has been the number one thing looking back through the years to have me be able to be healthy from the area of nutrition at 60 is always relying on that. Even though you go through those phases as a teenager and that, and having lots of junk food, and even as an adult at different times, having some foods that aren't necessarily the healthiest. The foundation is the key.
Yes.
And that foundation for me has always been whole food. And I think it's been a huge blessing to be able to be healthy, at 60.
I love that. I'm gonna build off of that, and I would say whole foods 100%, have been vital in my health to this point. I think also building on focused intense thought, because you're trying to create a certain outcome with these different goals, the nutrition then follows that pattern, right? So if I am trying to create more muscle for stage, then I'm going to have a diet that is built upon creating more muscle, having really great complex carbs, making sure fat is distributed well so that my hormones can support more muscle growth. Okay, when we're in trying to prepare for a high rocks, that nutrition is going to be I'm going to need more macronutrients to support that kind of training, and so I think that has always been so great because I want to perform really well in these things. So having the whole food mindset always, and then specific nutrition plans that can get me to what my focused intense thought goal is.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's jump to the E of fitness. Remember, focused, intense thought, FIT, and nutrition. E is exercise. What do you feel is the thing in the area of exercise that's helped you through the years be healthy now at 45?
I would say I'm going to start with I wake up and I get out and do some cardio. And I really truly believe it sets the tone for my day. And because I am someone that is constantly working on my mindset and having the proper mindset to be able to movement is very, very, very important for me. And once I can get moving for the day, I can really get my mind to catch up with some positive affirmations and that kind of thing. So I would say number one has been starting my day with movement, and more intense movement, really. And then also the exercise is going to follow the plan of what I'm trying to
The first of the
accomplish.
year.
And I think it's just vital. I think as if you're somebody that's like, okay, maybe I could do that. There's so many different things that you can prepare for. Certain hikes that you want to do, being able to roller derby. Somebody had just
Yeah.
mentioned that, and I thought that is
One of our clients is
incredible. That's
trying to get ready for roller
incredible.
derby type.
Yeah. Just bike riding.
Got the
You know,
turkey trot coming
entering.
up.
Yeah.
Lots of 5Ks all over the place.
Yes. So there's just so many opportunity. Russell Brunson and wrestling matches. There's just so many opportunities to perform as you get older.
Absolutely. And so for me, it's been the consistency of compound movements, even before I understood them. So growing up, Dad had us always do push-ups, and not as intense as we had our kids do them, but it was something that Dad did, and so I did push-ups, and that's a compound movement. A compound movement is an exercise where more than one joint moves, right? So push up your elbow joint, your shoulder joint, a squat, knee, and the hip moves. The leg extension is an isolation movement, only one joint moves. So compound movements, growing up doing that, and I think the two biggest movements growing up for me that were the biggest influence of being able to move at 60 and to be fit, even though a lot's changed. I powerlifted for a while, did different things. Truly has been push-ups and jumping drills.
Oh,
Always
okay.
did jumping drills
Okay.
growing up. Obviously, because I wanted to slam the basketball and being real short. But I think the jumping consistently truly was the secret factor for me for exercise. And even to this day, seeing that the more I do it, the healthier I am, the better I am, the better I feel when I versus not, because you lose fast twitch muscle faster than slow twitch as you age. So I think compound movements daily, even if they're just push-ups and standing squats and some type of ballistic movement. When I look back, has been a huge part of my life before I went and understood exercise physiology, which then it became even more.
Right.
And that, so yeah, it was a kind of a little different approach, but I think it's huge.
I love that. Okay. And then
Ready?
actually,
Ta-da! Big announcement.
wait, is it the first S or the second S? Is the changed one?
Yeah. Instead of specific.
Oh, I took nano blue. Sorry. Okay. So, da, 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 we have decided to switch up the SS of fitness. And when Doug mentioned this, I'm like, light bulb, it was incredible. So the first S of fitness is now
Sleep. So it used to be focus, intense thought, nutrition, exercise, specific supplementation, because we really wanted to emphasize that. But I think it's known now, and the research is so strong that we added the first S of fitness to be sleep.
I love that. And something that I have noticed in the last 3 months that has helped me immensely. And now when I look back, it was helping when I did it previously. And then I just I don't know, I got out of the habit. Calm. If I will take, and for me it's 4. I know for a lot of other
So it's a
people.
product called Optimal Calm.
Optimal Calm. About 30 minutes before I go to bed, if I will take 4 calm for me, I am
Which is a
able
lot.
to, yeah, I am able to fall asleep, stay asleep, and have some pretty vivid dreams, which tells me I'm in REM sleep, right? Not vivid like that, Douglas. Good grief. Anyways, no. Anyways, and the thing that I want to point out is that at my age, and as we continue to get older, going through perimenopause and then menopause, there are so many things that you go through, and disrupted sleep is one of them. And and a few months back, boy, I tell you what, if there was one part of perimenopause that I could really start to feel, it was that.
Yeah, because you've always slept like a rock.
Because I've always slept so well.
Yeah.
And I all of a sudden had so much empathy for people that don't sleep well. So that has been a huge game changer.
Love that. I love that. And for me, it's just a number. Like, working to have 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And because there's always going to be those nights you don't, especially when you have kids growing up, different things. Sometimes some nights are hard and different things happen. But if your goal when you go to bed is to really work to plan that you get 6 to 8 hours, and that happens the majority of the time, 80, 90% of the time, it makes a huge difference. And then you can work on the quality. But I think up till the last, 10 years, where we really started focusing on the darkness and all that, like trying to think through my life, what led me to, with sleep, to be able to be healthier and fit at 60, then I would think it would be always looking at that 6 to 8 hours. And it was a big deal in my family and not realizing it. And a lot of times when we go to bed, we're like thinking about when we go to bed, knowing what time we need to get up, and we're trying to make it within that time frame. So it's pretty broad, but I think it's critical because a lot of people, I think, go to bed and they don't pay attention to when they go to sleep and when they need to get up. Do we have a 6 to 8 hour window
I
there?
see.
And so it's just trying
So
to
a
plan for
schedule for
that
sleep.
window. Yeah, schedule for sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
And last is supplementation. I think you and I are going to be on the exact same page with this. And it's specific blood work for our specific supplements that help us feel our absolute best. And so that's what I would say on that one, except I'm also going to add creatine. I feel like a supplement that is making massive differences in my ability to perform consistently as I get older is creatine.
Yeah, I like that. And so, yep, same blood work. And I think, supplementation, the understanding of whole foods, and this kind of goes back again to not realizing how important they were. But growing up, um, we took vitamins from as long as I can remember, but they were horse pills. They were alpha pills. Some of you might remember it, and they were huge. They're from a company, I think, called Shackley, for those of you that have been around a while. And we had to take them, and they smelled terrible. They tasted terrible. You burped them up. But they were, my mom and dad would always say, but they're whole foods, right? They're the alpha. They're these types of things.
I'm
And so,
pretty sure I grew up on Flintstones.
yeah, so you dyes and
Right.
chemicals.
So not so much
yeah.
whole foods.
So, but then when we learned about whole food, once I got into it as a profession, it was like, wow, my parents knew innately that that was a way to go. So the two things for me with supplementation is, one, whole food vitamins, obeying the laws of nature, respecting creator when it comes to vitamins, not the synthetic, and then blood work. And for me, blood work at 60, I can look back to in my 30s, 40s, and 50s that there were major things that happened in my life that I was able to either find out that they were starting to happen before it got crazy by doing blood work, or when something happened doing blood work, say, oh, this is off, and we can do this to fix it quicker. And specifically, just, one thing I remember having major issues and doing blood work and then being told, look, here's your blood work, and this is what it looks like. And so you have, rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm like, that's the craziest thing in the world. Looked at the blood work, looked at what, was needed to be done, and then did it and saw that blood work change, knowing you were heading the right way to fix it. And you can do that with about anything. So,
And I think at 60 now, you're feeling your body in a different way, right? Where fitness now, if we go through everything that you just said, is just so vital because you are feeling your body in a way that is different. Where when you're younger, sometimes you can compensate, right? In all the different areas, your body will compensate for you. When you're 60 and plus, you need everything exactly right so that your body will still recover and regenerate and do all the things that you need it to do. So I feel like the compound effect of focused, intense thought, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and supplementation has made a world of difference for you to continue to perform at 60, even driving a jet car.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, because that was the biggest worry, honestly, was can the body handle that at my age? And it hasn't been an issue. So, I mean, it's a lot sorer the next
Yeah, I
day,
was
but
gonna
as far as
say.
being able to do it safely and effectively. So, that's our take on the fitness acronym, holistic approach to health, to be healthy and fit at 45, at 60, really at any age. And if you follow these principles and set them out, that's going to help you to have a long, healthy, great quality of life. And that's the key. It's not necessarily you want to live long, but no matter when that date is, to have a high quality of life during the time that you're here, that you can take action and do the things you want to do with those you love. So
I just want to add one more thing, hydration. I forgot to add hydration earlier. And I feel
the
like
nutrition, yeah.
with nutrition, staying hydrated, which means you don't drink a bunch of soda and stuff.
Yeah.
Hydration is
Hydration means
so
water.
important. Water. And glutathione.
And glutathione. That's a great thing. And so hopefully some of these tips will help you. Let us know in the messages and the comments of what things that you do that you feel you're doing right, that's going to help you to, when you're 15 years from now, whatever age you're at, to be healthier or fitter. And I would love to hear them. And as always, this is Miss Natural Olympia Hilary.
And this guy right here is Doug the Formulator.
Peace out. Good luck.
Thanks for joining us.
Olympia.
Yeah, let's